Let's go. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Heartland Championship Wrestling. My name is Dave Little, and we are coming to you live from the Dave Cave with action from Patriot Championship Wrestling, the Boston Garden, the scene of tonight's action. And in our main event, it will be a number one contenders match for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. Buddy Rogers, the former NWA World Heavyweight Champion, taking on the upstart number one contender from Atlantic Wrestling Federation, the one and only Eric Young. As we say hello to Neely Bob, first in line at the turnstile with Tracy Brooks and the Heartland Posse, the Velvet Posse. Interesting always to see who shows up from that esteemed crew. Jim Lawrence is here with us. Referee Jim Lawrence, thank you for being here tonight. Jay Randis also with us here at the start of the show. Busy day here in the Dave Cave, as yours truly is celebrating birthday number 62. So the 62nd birthday is been a big event. Went to lunch today. My son came over for a while, just got off the phone with my other son, and you probably heard my phone ringing in the background. My sister's trying to call, so yeah, lots going on here, and we will enjoy the show. And then I'll get back and return these other phone calls and get back to normal life as we know it. All right. Before we came to air, as Barbara 113 joins us. Good evening, Barbara. Before we came to air, we did have some preliminary matches. Opening the show, it was Billy White Wolf with a submission victory over Dewey Robertson by way of the Indian Deathlock. Dewey Robertson controlled most of that match, but Billy White Wolf with the comeback and with that vaunted Indian Deathlock. He has injured more than one person with that hold, and tonight it was Dewey Robertson who fell prey to the Indian Deathlock. Next up, it was tag team action. The Tolos brothers with a flawless victory over Thunderbolt Patterson and Pepper Gomez. John Tolos dominating that match and putting on the flying knee drop to get the pinfall victory over Thunderbolt Patterson. And just before we came to air, it was Power versus Power. Mark Henry taking on Superstar Billy Graham. And those two went back and forth with some mighty action before the Grand Wizard intervened on behalf of the Superstar, paving the way for Graham to get the victory by submission with the Superstar bear hug. And with that, we are ready to get things rolling. So, ladies and gentlemen, your first contest is scheduled for one fall with a 45-minute time limit. Disqualification rules will be in effect for this one, although probably not necessary, as these are two very highly ethical and highly skilled technical wrestlers squaring off here in Boston. Introducing first, out of Louisville, Kentucky, standing at 5'10", weighing 236 pounds, this is Strangler Ed Lewis. And his opponent hails from Princeton, Minnesota, standing at 6'1", weighing 234 pounds, this is Bob Backlund. So yeah, this should be a tremendous technical matchup between these two skilled competitors, Backlund and Strangler Ed Lewis, moving out. And it is Backlund taking control from the opening lockup and maneuvering his man into an abdominal stretch. A level 3 move right off of the opening lockup, and that's a big move for Backlund. And he is going to go then for the one-arm gotch lift. And got him up, and Strangler makes his way free of that. And now the abdominal stretch applied once again, and just like that, Strangler Lewis is out of the ring and down to the arena floor. But on the arena floor, it is Bob Backlund winning the brawl on the arena floor. And oh my goodness, I don't have my cards with me. I got to find my out of the ring cards. I had those in a separate spot, but it is Bob Backlund winning the brawl on the arena floor by way of a cannonball off the ring apron. So Bob Backlund throwing caution to the wind, coming off of the ring apron to subdue Ed Lewis on the arena floor. They come back into the ring. Backlund will have the advantage. And out of the ring we go again. And this time it is Ed Lewis who is going to win the brawl on the arena floor. And Lewis with an Irish whip into the ring steps. Backlund hits the ring steps hard. And he is stunned for a moment. And that will give Strangler Lewis the opportunity to come at Backlund. And they're going to go out of the ring right again. This is not what we were expecting from these two men. And now it is Ed Lewis with a foreign object. He is going for broke here with the knitting needles. Oh no, the dreaded knitting needles have come into play. And Ed Lewis is committing horrible atrocities with those knitting needles. He will not be disqualified. And Ed Lewis now is able to apply the Strangler's headlock. Backlund will not submit. His submission roll is only a 1, but the Strangler's headlock has been applied after the knitting needles. And that may be the thing, but now it is Backlund working his way free, and Ed Lewis going to attempt a step over toe hold. This is a choice F maneuver. He'll need 5 or lower to hit that. And oh, he got him in the step over toe hold, and Backlund is down. And now he goes back to the step over toe hold again, and this time Backlund able to escape. Backlund now back on the offense with a delayed vertical suplex, and down goes Ed Lewis. Lewis is down, and now Backlund is in control. Backlund with a big pile driver, and Lewis again rolls out of the ring and down to the arena floor. And it is Lewis again taking control of the action with a pile driver onto the ring steps. Ed Lewis bringing a lot more violence to this match than would have been expected, and he was nearly disqualified. But Lewis back in control, and now they are out of the ring yet again, and Bob Backlund has had about enough of this. And it is time for Backlund to fight fire with fire. And I don't believe what I'm seeing is Bob Backlund is going for a table. A table has come into play in this match. And the table has been set up on the arena floor. It is gut check time for these two men, and it is an even roll on the gut check, which means they are continuing to battle it out over the table. The battle continues, and now it is Ed Lewis who slams Bob Backlund face first into the ringside table. Back into the ring we go, with Lewis in control, and now the headlock has been applied. Will Backlund submit? No, he won't. But the headlock is now in play. Strangler Lewis maintaining that headlock. The submission now is 4. And Backlund staying strong, getting up to one knee, but cannot escape that headlock. And finally, the headlock continues to do more damage. And on a roll of 5, he got him. So Ed Lewis brought the fight. Knitting needles. A pile driver onto the ring steps outside the ring, slamming Bob Backlund face first into a table at ringside. And Ed Strangler Lewis is your winner by way of the Strangler's headlock, but he took more than one detour to get there. So congratulations to Ed Lewis, the winner in tonight's opening matchup. All right, so Ed Lewis gets a win in singles competition, hoping to take one step closer to a shot at the Patriot Wrestling Heavyweight Championship. That belt is held by Kurt Angle. And our next match will be to determine the number 1 contender to Kurt Angle's title. The following contest is scheduled for one fall with a 45-minute time limit. Disqualification rules will be in effect. Michael Brada joining us here. What a scientific contest indeed. Definitely not what I was expecting from that matchup. But the following contest is a number 1 contenders match for the Patriot Heavyweight Championship. Introducing first out of Abruzzi, Italy. He stands at 6'2" and weighs 255 pounds. This is ILIO DIPAOLO. And his opponent is accompanied to the ring by Percy Pringle III. Standing at 6'5" and weighing 452 pounds from the Rocky Mountains of Colorado, this is Big Van VADER. So VADER, with Percy Pringle at his side, set to take on ILIO DIPAOLO for a shot at Kurt Angle's Patriot Heavyweight Championship. And it is VADER who comes out taking the advantage. He's going to attempt a power elbow drop. This is a choice E maneuver. He'll need 9 or lower to hit that successfully, and he got the power elbow drop. And ILIO DIPAOLO is stunned. VADER stays on him now with a whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes ILIO DIPAOLO, but on a roll of 2, VADER tries a sunset flip, and ILIO DIPAOLO folds him up and goes for the cover, but VADER is able to kick out. Very shrewd maneuver there by ILIO DIPAOLO. DIPAOLO now in control, ramming his head into the turnbuckle. VADER trying to shake it off as ILIO DIPAOLO stays on his man with big right hands. Big right hands, lefts and rights. And now a leg Nelson applied by ILIO DIPAOLO as he took VADER down to the mat. Will VADER be forced to submit here? He will not. But he has absorbed a couple of points of fatigue here as ILIO DIPAOLO is wrestling smartly. And he is going to have to wrestle smartly if he is going to take down this big man. And now he's going up for the airplane spin, around and down, hard to the canvas. The pin roll now is 6. And on a roll of 10, VADER able to escape that. Percy Pringle very concerned at ringside. He is going to get involved here, and on a roll of 10, Percy Pringle III tries to hit the opponent with a foreign object, but accidentally smacks his own wrestler. Oh no, Percy Pringle has just slugged Big Van VADER with a foreign object. It was the sledgehammer that he picked up from under the ring. VADER gets hit by the sledgehammer. DIPAOLO goes for the cover, and on a roll of 7, VADER just kicks out. DIPAOLO now in control. DIPAOLO now with the airplane spin. Again, the pin roll here is 8, and on a roll of 8, he got him. Wow! ILIO DIPAOLO not only survives, but outsmarts Big Van VADER. After VADER was struck by Percy Pringle with a sledgehammer, and now we've got VADER and Percy Pringle having some words here. This is a disagreement that may not end well. And VADER has just pie-faced Percy Pringle down to the floor. VADER standing over Percy Pringle, screaming at him. Mark Henry is out. Roddy Piper is out. They are trying to prevent VADER from just beating the stuffings out of Percy Pringle. But indeed, Percy Pringle cost his man the match here in Boston. And there is dissension in the ranks of the Percy Pringle faction. VADER time did not quite turn out the way that Percy Pringle had hoped. As Salvador America is now with us, he had been cheering for VADER in that match, but much to his disappointment, your winner and the new number 1 contender for the Patriot Heavyweight Championship is ILIO DIPAOLO. All right, so it will be ILIO DIPAOLO versus Kurt Angle for the Patriot Heavyweight Championship next month in the Great Northeast. Tracy Brooks laughs loudly. Yeah, I bet the Velvet team is having a great time watching the shenanigans taking place here in Boston. And Tracy Brooks can laugh all she wants to at Percy Pringle, because if it came down to Tracy Brooks and Percy Pringle, my money would be on Tracy. All right, but now, ladies and gentlemen, we were hoping for a scientific matchup earlier in the night. That did not materialize. Maybe this next match will be more scientific or more on the up and up, but it is another high stakes match. This is a match for the number one Contenders position for the Patriot Tag Team Championship. Of course, the Road Warriors holding those titles, and they have put aside competition left and right. But now we have two teams here tonight in Boston wanting to be the next challengers, or the next victims, as it will, to the Road Warriors with the Patriot Tag Team Championship on the line. Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is scheduled for one fall with a 60-minute time limit. Disqualifications will be in effect. Introducing first, out of Charlotte, North Carolina, standing at 6'1", weighing at 237 pounds. This is Mr. Wrestling. Mr. Wrestling number one, and his tag team partner out of Atlanta, Georgia, stands at 5'11" and weighs 236 pounds. He is Mr. Wrestling 2. So Johnny Walker, Tim Woods, the duo known as Mr. Wrestling 1 and 2, is set for action here. Dream match right here, says Salvador America, as their opponents collectively weighing in at a total combined weight of 450 pounds. Out of Memphis, Tennessee, it is Robert Gibson and Ricky Morton, the Rock and Roll Express. All right, so Ricky Morton, Robert Gibson set to take on Mr. Wrestling 1 and 2. Indeed, a dream match for the ages. And it is going to be Robert Gibson starting things off against Mr. Wrestling in this matchup. Nicole Matthews and Velvet Sky joining the posse. That's going to be trouble. Nicole Matthews, a very unpopular figure around Heartland with her involvement with Portia Perez and lots of shenanigans there. Nicole Matthews making a reputation for herself around the Filsinger Games universe. And now it is Robert Gibson going to start things off for the Rock and Roll Express with a drop toe hold, taking Mr. Woods down to the canvas. Another drop toe hold again. And Gibson quickly tags in his teammate Ricky Morton. Here comes Ricky Morton, and Ricky Morton is going to go with a kick to the leg. That's a power move. He'll need 7 or lower to hit that, and Tim Woods able to withstand that devastating kick to the leg. And it is Mr. Wrestling coming back with a cross arm breaker. And already Ricky Morton in trouble. Will he be forced to submit here? He will not. But Mr. Wrestling taking Ricky Morton right down to the canvas with a very well applied cross arm breaker. Wrestling now in control with a 3/4 Nelson. A 3/4 Nelson applied. This is going to be a choice G maneuver. And he is going to take the power option of 10 or lower. And on a roll of 9, indeed, the 3/4 Nelson successfully applied. And Ricky Morton slowly getting to one knee, trying to get some momentum back in this match. And Mr. Wrestling, Tim Woods replies with a whip to the turnbuckle. And as Morton comes off the turnbuckle, it's a big kick from Mr. Wrestling that stuns Ricky. And he follows that up with another whip into the turnbuckle. Ricky coming off the turnbuckle and eats another big kick from Mr. Wrestling. And now it is a double team opportunity for the wrestling duo. And on a roll of 10, that is going to be a botch. It is Ricky Morton ducking away from the double team attempt. and taking control as Mr. Wrestling 1 and Mr. Wrestling 2 collide. 1 plus 2 makes 3. And in this case, it's an opportunity for Ricky Morton, and it is Ricky sending Mr. Woods into the turnbuckle. And coming off the turnbuckle, it is Woods reversing that. And as Morton comes off the turnbuckle, he is kicked once again by Mr. Wrestling. He's been more Mr. Kicking in this match thus far. And now a legitimate tag as Mr. Wrestling 2 tags in for the first time. And 2 comes in with a big back suplex. Ricky Morton is down, crawling over to try and make the tag and gets there. Now it is Robert Gibson and Mr. Wrestling 2 facing off. Robert with a whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes Mr. Wrestling 2, and on a roll of 7, it's a big back body drop that takes Mr. Wrestling down to the mat. And now Robert Gibson with a big haymaker puts Mr. Wrestling down. He is down, and Robert now with a chance. A big enziguri, and Wrestling 2 slowly getting to his feet. Robert stays on him. Whip to the turnbuckle. Coming off the turnbuckle, Mr. Wrestling 2. And it is Robert Gibson charging into the turnbuckle with a running shoulder dive, and he missed everything. He missed everything. Gibson hits and rolls out of the ring and down to the arena floor. But on the arena floor, it is Robert Gibson pulling Mr. Wrestling 2 out and hitting Mr. Wrestling with a DDT on the concrete floor. Did I say something about this being a scientific and well-fought match? Robert Gibson just pulled Mr. Wrestling 2 out of the ring and DDT'd him on the concrete. And now Robert is in charge with the Gibson leg lock. He is going to try and force a submission out of Mr. Wrestling here, and he may get him. He may get him on a roll of 3. Can Mr. Wrestling make the save? He does. So Mr. Wrestling 2 takes the point of fatigue. Mr. Wrestling makes the save, and on a roll of 3, that is the ring interference chart. The tag team interference chart, and it is going to be the referee putting Mr. Wrestling out of the ring. He did save the submission there, but Robert Gibson's still in control, and now Ricky's coming in, and it's going to be a double team attempt for the Rock and Roll Express. And on a roll of 9, Ricky hits a big running forearm smash on Wrestling 2. Ricky now in control. Ricky coming with a big leg drop. Mr. Wrestling rolls out of the way of that one. And Wrestling 2 now fires back with a whip into the turnbuckle. Ricky Morton goes into the turnbuckle and comes off and eats a big elbow smash from Mr. Wrestling 2. Wrestling 2 now in control, tagging his partner back into the match. Here comes Mr. Wrestling Tim Woods in control and wrapping up Ricky into the figure 4 leg lock. Ricky desperately trying to make a tag, unable to do so, as Mr. Wrestling now puts on the sleeper hold. Ricky again desperately trying to get over and make the tag, unable to do so. Now we're going to see another double team attempt from the wrestling duo, and this time they connect as Mr. Wrestling 2 delivers a forearm smash to Ricky Morton. Mr. Wrestling now is in the ring and in control with a front face lock. Ricky again tries to make the tag and again is unable to do so. The front face lock continues. Ricky again unable to make the tag. Mr. Wrestling holding Ricky at bay as Ricky tries to escape. Clubbing blows by Mr. Wrestling finally take Ricky Morton down to the canvas. Mr. Wrestling 2 now is going to go for a European uppercut. He's going to need 10 or lower to hit that, and he nails it. And Ricky is stunned. Tag back into Mr. Wrestling. Tim Woods now in control, and Tim Woods with a cross arm breaker. Again, Ricky getting to his feet. Tim Woods applies the cross arm breaker again, and now follows that up with a lateral guillotine, but he cannot force Ricky to submit. In comes Mr. Wrestling 2 for a double team, and now it is an awesome double neck breaker delivered by Wrestling and Wrestling 2. Mr. Wrestling 2 now the legal man in the ring and in control, and he is going to go for that European uppercut once again And once again, he connects. This time he goes for the cover. The pin roll here is 3. And on a roll of 7, Ricky able to kick out. Ricky in some trouble here. All of the prepubescent girls at ringside are distraught, as Ricky Morton is the babyface in peril. And Mr. Wrestling 2 looks to finish him off. And oh, he caught him. $1 Million knee lift. He goes for the cover. And on a roll of 9, Ricky able to kick out. But now Robert is going to come in and try and turn the momentum in the favor of his team. Tag team interference chart we go. And on a roll of 6, it is the referee putting Mr. Wrestling out of the ring and allowing Ricky to get to his feet. And Ricky will have the advantage here coming back on level 2 offense. Ricky Morton taking advantage of the distraction with a big fist drop onto Mr. Wrestling 2. Ricky will make the legal tag to Robert now. Mr. Wrestling 2 unable to make the tag. And Ricky has tagged out to Robert, and Robert is now in control. Robert comes with another big haymaker. Mr. Wrestling 2 is stunned. Robert comes back at him with a big back elbow smash. Can Wrestling 2 make the tag? No, he cannot. Now Robert back into a flying head scissors attempt. This is a choice C maneuver. He'll need 7 or lower to hit that. And on a roll of 7, he connects with that flying head scissors. Mr. Wrestling 2 again trying to make the tag and again unable to do so. Robert stays on him. Whip to the turnbuckle. Coming off the turnbuckle, Mr. Wrestling 2, and Robert catches him with a big kick. Robert still maintaining control with a spinning toe hold. Wrestling 2 desperate but still unable to make the tag. Robert with a chance to finish now. He's going to go back to that flying head scissors. And again, he completes the flying head scissors, but Mr. Wrestling 1 able to execute a reversal. And both men now get to their feet. And it is Mr. Wrestling with a hip toss that takes Robert over and down to the canvas. Robert quickly back to his feet, but Wrestling 2 tags in Mr. Woods. Now we've got both the fresh men back in the ring. And it is Tim Woods with an arm drag into an arm bar, taking Robert down to the mat. Fine technical maneuver there. And now into the cross arm breaker is Mr. Wrestling. Mr. Wrestling continues on the offensive with another whip to the turnbuckle. And as Robert bounces off the turnbuckle, Woods caught him again with another big kick. And now it is a double team attempt for the wrestling team, and it's going to be a good one. The bone-crunching double clothesline nails Robert Gibson. Robert Gibson is down, and Mr. Wrestling 2 is in charge. And he goes with the atomic drop that stuns Robert. Robert pulling himself up by the ropes, but Wrestling 2 caught him in a big back suplex down to the canvas hard. Wrestling 2 goes for the cover, and Robert now forced to kick out. Robert taking his first point of fatigue in this match as Wrestling 2 stays on him, and he is going to go up for the death jump. Death jump attempt coming up by Mr. Wrestling, and he nails Robert with a flying double axe handle off of the top turnbuckle. Double team opportunity for Mr. Wrestling 1 and 2. And on a roll of 9, it is a running forearm smash delivered by Mr. Wrestling that keeps Robert Gibson under control. As Mr. Wrestling now, the legal man in the ring with another whip to the turnbuckle. Robert coming off of the turnbuckle, and this time it is a knee to the head delivered by Robert Gibson that stuns Mr. Wrestling. Robert now in control with a back elbow smash. He's going to go for the cover. The pin roll here is 3, and oh, on a roll of 4, he almost got him. And now all 4 men have taken damage in this match, and it is the rock and roll double drop kick executed by Ricky and Robert out of nowhere. The pin roll here is 7. Wrestling 2 going to have to attempt the pin save, unable to get there. Robert makes the cover, and on a roll of 8, Mr. Woods, Mr. Wrestling Tim Woods barely able to kick out. But the wrestling team has expended all of their pin saves now, and it is Ricky who is the legal man in the ring. What is Ricky going to do? He comes with a top rope punch that stuns Mr. Woods. Ricky stays on him with a big leg drop. Ricky follows that up with a fist drop. And now it's another double team opportunity for the Rock and Rolls, but they collide, and it is Mr. Woods who gains the advantage. Mr. Wrestling now in control with a lateral guillotine on Ricky after the double team attempt misfires. Double boot rake delivered by Tim Woods. Unable to make the tag is Ricky. Tim comes back with a back elbow. Ricky again trying to make the tag and finally does get there as Robert Gibson comes in, the legal man in the ring for this Rock and Roll Express as this match continues to go back and forth. Gibson attempting a body slam. That's a power move. That's not going to happen, and he's going to have to back off and rethink his strategy. They come together in the center of the ring, and it is now a knee lift delivered by Robert Gibson that stuns Mr. Wrestling. Mr. Wrestling makes the tag to Mr. Wrestling 2. I know there's a lot of stuff going on in the chat, and I will try and catch up with that as soon as the completion of this match takes place, as Mr. Wrestling catches a top wrist lock on Robert, and Robert does not make the tag. Instead, it is a hip toss that takes Robert down to the canvas. Wrestling 2 stays on his man with the headlock takeover, and down to the canvas is Robert. Wrestling 2 with clubbing blows. Robert Gibson getting back to his feet and firing back with a drop toe hold attempt. Mr. Wrestling sidesteps that attempt, and it is Mr. Wrestling instead with a whip into the turnbuckle. Off the turnbuckle comes Robert, and he eats a big kick from Wrestling 2. Wrestling 2 now follows that up with more of those clubbing blows, trying to get his man down to the canvas. A big back suplex, and Robert Gibson rolls out of the ring and down to the arena floor. Out of the ring for the first time, and we may see a count out here as Mr. Wrestling rams Robert Gibson back first into the ring apron, the hardest part of the ring, and Robert Gibson is going to be counted out here on a roll of 4 or lower. He is able to make it back to the ring ahead of the 10 count, but Mr. Wrestling 2 is loaded up and ready, and he scores with $1 million knee lift. The pin roll here is 5. On a roll of 9, Robert able to kick out. As the Rock and Rolls are down to their final pin save, it's going to be a double team attempt for Wrestling and Wrestling 2, and on a roll of 8, they combine for an awesome double neck breaker that puts Robert down once again. Can Mr. Woods get the finish here? He goes with a short suplex. And again, Robert rolling out of the ring and down to the arena floor, and on a roll of 5, it is Robert winning the brawl with a diving clothesline off of the ring apron onto Mr. Wrestling. We will not see a disqualification here. Robert now in control, and Robert goes for the Gibson leg lock. Mr. Wrestling slowly getting to his feet. Robert comes back at him with a spinning toe hold and puts Mr. Wrestling back down onto the mat. And now it is going to be a death jump coming from Robert Gibson. And on a roll of 4, that is bad news for Robert, as Mr. Woods, Mr. Wrestling caught him and threw Robert down to the canvas. Mr. Wrestling now able to tag in Mr. Wrestling 2. Wrestling 2 comes into the ring with an atomic drop, and again, Robert Gibson rolling out to the arena floor. And it is going to be Robert Gibson getting his head slammed into the ring post by Mr. Wrestling. Mr. Wrestling still in control here. And now it is going to be a death jump attempted by Mr. Wrestling 2. And on a roll of 7, he nailed him. Another double team attempt coming for Wrestling and Wrestling 2. And they deliver a running double clothesline, putting Mr. Woods back in control. Mr. Woods now, can he get the finish here? A rolling reverse cradle, and Gibson is able to get back up to his feet. The figure 4 leg lock has been applied. Now it's a possible submission for Gibson. Ricky's going to try and make the save, and on a roll of 3, he gets there. So Robert Gibson survives the figure 4 leg lock with the help of his partner. But on a roll of 7 now, we've got all 4 wrestlers in the ring battling it out. Gut check roll won by the Rock and Roll Express. Robert now has the advantage. It's a double drop kick by Ricky and Robert. on Mr. Wrestling. The pinfall here is, let's see, 2, 5, 8. And on a roll of 5, they got him. Just like that. The Rock and Roll Express out of nowhere hitting that double drop kick. And Robert Gibson gets the pinfall on Mr. Wrestling. And we have new #1 contenders for the Patriot Tag Team Championship. Congratulations to the Rock and Roll Express on a big victory in a back and forth match that was nothing short of sensational. All right, so new #1 contenders. It will be Ricky and Robert to face the dreaded Road Warriors. And now it is a match coming up next month between those two teams for the titles. All right, a lot of stuff happened in the chat room during that match, and let's see if we can catch up. Let's see, we had Nicole Matthews and Velvet Sky teaming up in Velvet. Brock Lesnar retired tonight. I was going to try and get on earlier and catch WrestleMania tonight, was unable to get here before the start of the show, so best of health and best wishes to Brock Lesnar. Very distinguished career, very outstanding athlete in the MMA world and in the wrestling world. Did have some personal demons that got the best of him towards the end of his career, but congratulations to Brock Lesnar for a successful retirement. What better way to end the weekend than the Heartland BLE and everybody here? So thank you for the update. Just out of curiosity, I have a question. If those two teams battled in a 7-match series, I don't know, but it was about 7 matches worth of action we saw here tonight. Question about the Mr. Wrestling Tim Woods card. Good question. I believe this came from, I don't exactly know the answer to that. This is an unofficial bootlegs card for use with Filsinger Games Legends Summer 2021. So this either came from Will Harrison or Carl Zilla. And I want to guess Will Harrison because I think he was still doing these cards and using the logo. So this is a numbered card. It's numbered 16 out of 40. So I do believe this came from the old underground bootleg universe, or whatever they used to call the Ubu business. So probably this came from Will Harrison. Your best bet would be to check with Chad Olson. I believe Chad has the archives of the work that Will formerly did. Will, great guy, wonderful guy. I got to meet Will on several occasions, but life and business and things caught up with him, and he was no longer able to keep up with the bootleg production. And if memory serves, he has turned that over to Chad Olson. Okay, so that is the question about, the Mr. Wrestling 2 card was from the fall of 2020, and then in the summer of 2021, the Mr. Wrestling Tim Woods card came out. So I believe Chad Olson would be your best bet. And Velvet Sky puts on the Butcher Memorial belt she won from Lena Cross. Okay, that's some news here. Mark Wrestle joining us. Got to hang out with Mark last weekend in Auburn, Indiana at IndyCon. Indy short for Indiana. A show put on, or a weekend hosted by ST Patrick. And gosh, ST Patrick, a very, very good dude, and the is a board game creator, also the editor and publisher of the Sports Sim magazine. ST Patrick developed the Squared Circle wrestling game, and hosts the IndyCon. So good to catch up with ST. Good to catch up with Mark Russell last weekend in Indiana. Next month, of course, Digital to DiceCon. I'll be making the trip up to Connecticut over the weekend of May the 14th, and hopefully we'll get to see Mark there once again as well. The other interesting thing I did on the road to IndyCon, I went to a new place in a town called Mishawaka, Indiana, which is right outside of, I believe, South Bend, called the Victory Roll Cafe. The Victory Roll Cafe is a cafe and a community game center that is jointly owned by Ruby Soho, a.k.a. Ruby Riot, a.k.a. Heidi Lovelace, and her now husband, Jeff Parker, a.k.a. Angelo Parker, a.k.a. Cool Hand Angelo. Those two met in AEW and married and had a baby and have settled down. I don't know if either of them is intending to come back to wrestling, but they and another couple have opened a game shop. Very neat little place. They did not have games for sale, but they had a big library of games that people could come in. And the business model is you come in and you eat your lunch or your dinner there. And if you spend X amount of money at the restaurant, then you have access to the game library. So you can't just come in and play games for free, because that business model would never survive. But just a really, really neat place, neat little community vibe. Ruby and Jeff were not in the store when I got there, but the young lady who was the co-owner of the store and her husband was working the kitchen and whipped up a fine Cuban sandwich while the proprietor lady was waiting the tables and came by for a chat, and I told her about what we were doing in Indiana, and very pleasant experience, very good experience. The Victory Roll Cafe in Mishawaka, Indiana, as a solo promoter joins us, tuning in from the busy Los Angeles freeways. Drive safely, Grant. I was just telling him about Ruby Soho, Ruby Riot, and her new game store / cafe in Northwest Indiana. Had a very nice experience there. The other thing they do is they produce gourmet coffee. The coffee beans are ground right there in their shop. So I bought a big bag of coffee. I bought a Cuban sandwich. They have a gumball machine that dispenses dice. So I stuck a quarter in the gumball machine and I got a 4-sided die. So that was the highlight of my trip to the Victory Roll Cafe. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for your main event of the evening. The following contest is scheduled for one fall with no time limit. Disqualification rules will be in effect for this one. This is a number 1 contenders match for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. The winner of this match will face current champion Kevin Steen 1 week from now at our next Heartland Supercard, Dawn of Destiny 2025. And we'll get more into Dawn of Destiny here presently. But now let's introduce tonight's main event. Introducing first from Florence, Ontario, Canada, a surprise number 1 contender for the NWA World Heavyweight Champion. He is your current Atlantic Wrestling Federation champion, standing at 6 foot, weighing 232 pounds. This is Eric Young. Eric Young, what a run he has been on. Upset victory over Paul Orndorff to win the Atlantic Heavyweight Championship, followed by a successful title defense over Orndorff, propelling him to the top contenders position, where he will face his opponent, who is the former NWA World Heavyweight Champion from Camden, New Jersey. Standing at 6'1", weighing 227 pounds, this is the original Nature Boy, Buddy Rogers. So yeah, Buddy Rogers would have to be the prohibitive favorite in this match, but Eric Young has been known to pull a surprise or two out of his hat, and tonight he is hoping that lightning will once again strike the Boston Garden, and Eric Young will earn a shot at the World Championship. Buddy Rogers wanting to get a rematch at Kevin Steen, who defeated Rogers for that championship, and as they come together, it is Rogers taking control with a forearm uppercut. Rogers with the advantage in both the power and the agility stats in this match, as Eric Young is stunned, and a jumping knee smash from Buddy Rogers right off of the get-go. He's going to go for the cover, the pinroll snake eyes, and Eric Young able to kick out. But Rogers quickly asserting control in this match and looking to end the night early, because he knows the more he toys with Eric Young, the more surprises Eric Young may have up his sleeve. And now it's going to be an attempt at a pin using the ropes by Buddy Rogers. And Eric Young immediately grabs the bottom rope and rolls out of the ring and down to the arena floor. Salvador America. Rogers is the favorite, but the dice have a mind of their own. And on the arena floor, it is going to be Buddy Rogers. Let's see, on a roll of A10. Out of the ring. That is the foreign object roll. So Buddy Rogers going to the well for a foreign object, a steel chain produced by Buddy Rogers. Buddy Rogers taking a poke at Eric Young with a steel chain. This may cost him a disqualification. There's one roll, and on a roll of 7, the second DQ roll is not successful, and Buddy Rogers got away with one there. Rogers now back in control. The atomic drop, and Young again rolling out of the ring and down to the arena floor. Young trying to create as much havoc as possible. And on a roll of 8, it is going to be Rogers simply waiting it out this time, forcing Eric Young to make that helpless crawl back into the ring where Rogers is waiting. And Rogers now with the big elbow drop onto Eric Young. Young trying to get to his feet. Rogers with a big drop kick, and again, Young is out of the ring and down to the arena floor. Can Young turn the tables? He cannot, as this time it is Buddy Rogers with a pile driver onto the ring steps that just staggers Eric Young. Young running out of tricks here as Buddy Rogers has taken control, and now the figure 4 grapevine has been applied. The submission hold here will be 7 or lower, and on a roll of 7, he got him. So Buddy Rogers taking no prisoners tonight. Inside the ring, outside the ring, Buddy Rogers did everything he had to do. The steel chain, the pile driver onto the ring steps. Buddy Rogers leaving no doubt who will be the number 1 contender for the NWA World Championship next week at Dawn of Destiny 2026. Oh yeah, Kevin Steen was injured by a Jerry Lawler fireball in Velvet. Lawler and his fireball. So hopefully Steen will make a full recovery in time for next week's title defense of the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. And Eric Young, continues on a good run. He still holds the Atlantic Heavyweight Championship, which he will be defending in the next month. But next weekend will be Dawn of Destiny 2026. I am going to have to do that on Saturday because on Sunday I will be leaving town for the entire week for a business trip. I'm taking off on Sunday, so I will have to put the Dawn of Destiny show on Saturday. Jeff Stafford, dang, I'm late vacation. Good for you, my man. So next week, Dawn of Destiny 2026. It will be Buddy Rogers challenging Kevin Steen for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. It will be the Midnight Express defending the NWA World Tag Team Championship. As I'm pulling up my show notes here, they will be defending against the Wild-Eyed Southern Boys, of course, Tommy Rich and Tracy Smothers. Portia Perez to defend the Heartland Ladies Championship against Nicole Savoy. And, of course, Dawn of Destiny is the time where we run our yearly Money in the Bank ladder match. A six-man ladder match will take place. Two representatives of each of the three Heartland territories. It will be Kenta and Paul Orndorff from Atlantic Wrestling Federation. From Pro Wrestling Mid-America, Dan Severin and Arn Anderson. And from Patriot Championship Wrestling, Bob Backlund and Kevin Sullivan. So Kenta, Orndorff, Severin, Arn Anderson, Bob Backlund, and Kevin Sullivan next weekend will be attempting to climb the ladder and get the next title match for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. All right. We are done here. Thank you to everybody for checking us out tonight. Good crowd. Good conversation. Jeff Stafford, Salvador America, Neely Bob, and the Velvet Posse. As always, keeping things interesting at ringside. Once again, Salvador America, the solo promoter Grant Bachoco, Jay Randus, Mark Russell joined us here tonight. And I believe somebody else, Barbara 113 was here earlier on this evening. Jim Lawrence, rounding out the crew here in the chat room on this, the 19th of April in the year of our Lord 2026. So from the Dave Cave, this is Dave Little signing off. That's our stream, and I am out of here.